Hey there. Showing up. Awesome. I'm just pulling up a couple of things. Awesome. So this is one of those things where it might take a little while for people to filter in. We're gonna have to pick a few folks who want to participate. I can get you all um, on stream if you like. That'd probably be the easiest since it's a role-playing game. Does anyone here actually? Did you attend the earlier panel on how to make a character? It's much easier with the book. The book should be online. Hold on. Let me check. I'll be right back. So they're actually getting that up, and I can get you a link to it. If anyone thinks they would like to go ahead and try to make a character, they're welcome to do so. I do have pre-mades available here too. I can actually just send you the links. And these ones are just some pre-made characters. If you want to look those over and see if anything strikes out interests you. I'll get the rest of the stuff together. I don't remember who made all these characters, so I'm sure we had someone on our team whose job it was to go through and make a bunch of different characters. Oh, good idea. Let me give a second. Hey. So I went in there, made an announcement. How many folks do we have who are interested in participating? Actually, I need to know a number. I will say this is a pretty easy game to play. Also, for people who want to participate, let me know if you can do voice streaming as well. It tends to be more entertaining to watch um, and participate when you're actually playing it and you can hear everybody. Sounds good. I'll mark that one off for you. There we go.
Hi. Is it okay if I don't have my camera on?
It's fine.
It's fine? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have a fursuit, so I can't have any magic.
I feel that.
Mhm.
So I'm going to pull out your character sheet. Because
Mhm.
I actually didn't get a chance to look at these characters. Someone else made them.
Well, if it helps you feel any better, I'm sort of in the same boat. I only got a cursory understanding of the system, but it sounds like it's like a just a D6 system.
It is. It operates on D6s. We really wanted a system where pretty much anyone could play with minimal resources. Most people
Mhm.
have D6s in some game in their
Mhm.
household, so
Yeah.
it's not impossible to play by just raiding your Yahtzee or other games.
Yeah, just destroy your Monopoly game and you have a better game.
It's not hard. We have a
uh,
friend who's super duper into Monopoly. You don't
oh.
you don't want to play with him. He is like the worst. And I don't say that because he's actually the worst Monopoly player. I say that because he is a deal
He's
maker, and he
ooh.
will take hours playing Monopoly where he tries to arrange deals to sell and buy things.
Mhm. But
Games
at
with him,
that point, yeah,
sometimes
that
games with him take days.
if I think at that point someone would just want to play a different game.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it goes.
And then I don't know a way to like let me see, does screen share uh
What program do you use? Do you have OBS or?
yeah, I have an OBS thing, but I think this website only accepts jeez.
There's a thing called Virtual Cam. It's an add-on for OBS that you can just add on and then turn on. Um,
Mhm.
it allows it to work with this program.
Okay. Let me just close that. So it's called OBS.
Virtual Cam.
Okay. Now, did you have any other friends that were going to join in, or was this like a just a call for people to join in?
Mostly just a call.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's 7 people in here watching this room, but I don't know if they want to participate, if they're just here to watch.
Oh, so yeah. Um,
Unfortunately, most of the people I play with, we play in real life. Um,
mm-hmm. They didn't get tickets for Megaplex Online.
nah, they don't do really as many cons.
Yeah.
Let me see if I'm gonna open a window and
The guy is on the page. Just click download, and there are 3 additional server characters.
okay. So I was just informed that
Uh-huh.
the yeah, I can make things function on this. Um, that there it is. The quick rough guide is now available on the site. So I'm gonna copy that link and put it over here.
Mm-hmm.
The nice thing is this isn't too hard to jump in and out if people wanted to join later.
Yeah.
It's just easier with a couple of people. Mostly so you have someone to interact with who's not me.
Yeah. It's probably not really designed as a one-on-one game, is it?
You actually could play it as such if you wanted to, but I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah.
Usually we have 2 to 4 people. You can go with more than that if you want, but
And I
it's a fair
forget,
amount.
does one person have to be the GM?
Yeah,
Yeah. Mhm.
yeah. I say 2 to 4 people. I mean players. I never really count myself.
Yeah. Yeah, because you're the game system. You're the rules personified.
Pretty much, and this game gets pretty crazy. A lot of it has to do with just rolling with what the players come up with, and in a game where players are playing what is essentially Saturday morning cartoon characters, um, players can come up with some really weird shit. Let me tell you.
Mhm. Yeah, you could be a Super Sentai. And I think the guy earlier was talking about how they could be like you could play as Sailor Moon and then get random superpowers.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, it's pretty easy to customize. And honestly, you could take a character from anything and build it in the system, and you could probably
Mhm.
build it in multiple different ways. I made a character who was basically a parody of Yakko from the Animaniacs, and he had a companion who was his brother Wacko. Um, I believe the names I went with were Yaki and Wacky. Um, and he kept his companion stuffed into his pants and would pull him out for attacks. And his companion
Yeah,
attacked by also pulling out something from his hat. So it was a rather
it's
elaborate attack.
it's super elaborate hammer space. It's hammer space within hammer space. Also,
Exactly.
hi guys.
Hello, hello. Just wanted to pop
Hey,
in. I wish I had the ability to join in the game, but I just wanted to pop in and say hello.
hey
Yeah.
I,
there.
I appreciate games, so I wish I could join.
Yeah.
Can you try to convince other people to join in? Because it's gonna be a pretty quiet stream with just 2 people.
Mm. I'll see what I can do.
Mm-hmm.
You could also
Thank you.
jump in and out if you wanted to, like, kind of check in and loosely play. You don't have to pay that much attention, frankly.
Well, I'll see who I can find.
Okay.
Okay. So in the meantime, would you want to try to set the scene that we're going to be playing in?
Okay. So this is the first time I've actually seen the campaign in the book because I've got the book open in front of me.
Mhm.
Even though I wrote it when it initially came out. Um, and yeah. I've actually played this campaign a lot of times. I'm just trying to figure out how many dice I need because I have this online dice roller. I should probably go ahead and separate that out here so you can see that I'm not cheating or lying about what dice are being rolled. Honesty
Yeah,
is
and I don't know.
important.
Yeah, and I don't know how to set up the OBS thing yet, so you're gonna have to trust me too. But
Let's see. I'm still getting used to OBS myself. All right, and there we go. Dice roller. Ta-da!
ta-da! There it is.
Roll some dice. Okay, I'm going to give you the backstory for this campaign because that's already in the book.
Mhm.
Okay. Now, you were playing Xavier?
Yeah, I'm playing as Xavier the Unicorn Cat.
Okay. So, you and your fellow players, who just happen to be absent at the moment, have been fleeing the pursuit of the mysterious organization of shadowy figures, and you've reached an impasse in your journey. You need to obtain the missing piece of a magical map, but in order to do so... Oh, wait.
Mhm.
Sorry, wrong part. This is arranged differently than my handwritten campaign. You should have seen it. I had to rewrite it like 7 times.
Yeah.
There you go. The party has narrowly escaped the pursuit of the mysterious organization of shadowy figures by stealing a boat. After miles of travel down the massive Farina River, you've encountered the Grove of Stones, a long area of rocky rapids that is dangerous to traverse. You must exit the boat and continue on foot. Unfortunately, your torn half of the map ends only a short distance from this new location, and you still have no idea where the mysterious hub of power you were told about could be. So yeah, you stole a boat. There were supposed to be additional campaigns in this particular thing. This is, I believe, the 3rd of the campaigns in this set out of 5. So you would have actually gotten to play against, the escape from the mysterious League of Shadowy Figures previously. So let's just pretend we did that. You escaped from them.
It looks like Axel Skullwolf said someone else wanted to join the call.
Yeah, I'm just not seeing it pop up.
Okay.
Oh, okay. That makes
okay.
sense.
Sorry.
So
Yeah,
I'm just
so-
going to quickly look over your character. Just to see what I'm working with here, abilities-wise.
Yeah, let me put this in. It was this character.
Yeah.
He's a unicorn cat, body of 1, mind of 2, and spirit of 3. He's got a whole lot of heart.
Yeah.
Yeah. Keyword catnip and oatcakes. And the negatives are death and popcorn. I don't know. Popcorn's pretty nice, but maybe he's had bad experiences with it.
Well, I mean, he's a unicorn. Maybe corns are a type of unicorn. Maybe unicorns are made of corn.
Oh no. And then popcorns are popped unicorns.
Yeah. Maybe that's why your other keyword is death.
Yeah.
So I'm just looking up your abilities, which you have here. So you're last of the kind. Not many unicorn cats going on around here.
Mm-hmm.
You have I Never Miss. Let's see. It says you can expend energy points to avoid having to roll for success. So you can just choose to spend an energy point to make a spell instead of having to actually roll and see if you succeeded in making it.
Mm-hmm.
Item of Destiny, which they didn't include, so we're going to have to give you an Item of Destiny.
Oh no. Well, it says rainbow catnip, but that's in the attacks,
Yeah,
not the item.
that's your attack. So we'll just have to make you an item. But let me see where the Item of Destiny is. You may choose a weapon from your inventory and roll to add an effect in one of the chosen keywords. It only works when equipped by this character. If used by anyone else, it doesn't have added keywords or effects. Okay, so as soon as you get an item, it will become your Item of Destiny. So hopefully you'll get something good and not something really stupid.
Yeah. I mean, maybe the first thing I ever pick up is just a pencil, and that's my Item of Destiny from now on.
We have an image from another of our games, which is an Item of Destiny, and it's a cheese grater. It's a cheese grater of Destiny, yeah. And then energy conversion.
Mm-hmm.
You may choose to spend health points to activate special attacks in place of energy points. So you can use your health instead of your energy points if you want to do more spells and things.
Ooh, that's sort of like a blood mage thing.
From
this,
yeah,
just using your blood to power your spells. This Xavier is seeming pretty complicated, actually. I wonder if he's the reason he's the last unicorn.
Well, you never know. I mean, that's a pretty dark ability there.
And then he has a hindrance called Chaste.
Okay. When a new combat begins, roll a dice. If it comes up as 6, you get 2 additional enemies of a related type and lower level, with a minimum level of 1, show up to join the group. So you'll be rolling at the beginning of any combat session, and if you roll a 6, you will generate additional enemies that you have to fight.
Mm-hmm.
For your power sets, you have
The power of friendship, and that says inspire us all and think alike.
I think the person who made this got their archetypes confused. That's the archetype set for a different character type. Well, I can actually quickly go through these and just pick a couple to replace those. So what I have here is network, and you get 2 of these. Intel. You're in possession of access to information about local terrain, personnel, wildlife, and more. It allows you to make a mind roll with a +4 bonus for information. This may include stats, weaknesses, secret passages, or more, depending on the degree of success.
So I have intel, you said?
Yeah. Inside man. You may choose to make a mind check against an enemy or group of enemies, up to 3 enemies per energy point spent, to find out if you have an inside man. Success means the character breaks cover to assist you. The difficulty of success is based on the enemy's level. Highly trained. When making a non-combat roll, you may invoke your specialized training and gain a +4 bonus. Risk it all. If you fail a defense roll, you may re-roll the defense. If you fail the re-roll, the enemy roll becomes an automatic critical hit against you.
Oh yeah, I see them now. So
yeah,
there's risk it all, privileged access.
Yeah.
The rank of your character holds some sway either within your organization or the public in general. It provides a +2 bonus on bluffing or intimidating characters by invoking your name.
Yeah.
Safe house. The player may make a check to see if there's a safe house nearby. Such locations will provide basic shelter, provisions, and allow the character to rest. Checks may be done at any... Yeah?
Just so you know, when you choose to rest, you'll automatically get to roll to recover a certain amount of health and energy points. So.
Okay. And then rising in the ranks, every time you make a successful roll to connive, bluff, charm, or otherwise sway a character, I can add +1 to the next roll to convince. This stacks until reaching a maximum of +5. If you fail at any point, it resets to 0.
Yeah. I actually had a variant of this ability when I was playing Yaki Warner, and I actually managed to stack my my convince ability to, I believe, like 18, like an automatic 18. So I could literally convince someone of anything, and I did. I put on a fake mustache when we were in a we caught by this guy's bodyguard of this dude, and I put on a fake mustache and pretended to be the dude who the bodyguard was working for, and the actual dude was there in the room, and I convinced him that I was in fact that dude, and that the other dude was a fake.
Yeah.
So
you were probably so convincing that the dude himself thought he was a fake too. And then supply dropped. Activating an ability drop allows you to access a hidden cache or receive a transported package of supplies. The package will contain 1 die worth of items rolled at random. So 1 die worth of items, does that mean I roll a d6 and then I have 1 through 6 items?
Yes.
Or it's
you
I see.
You roll a d6 and you'll have 1 to 6 items. So, and
so you'll pick 3 of them?
2.
2 of them. Well, I think I'm going to choose Intel and... let's see. Intel and... yeah, let's go Rising in the Ranks, because that sounds fun.
And it can be useful if you ever have to convince someone of something.
Which, if you know role-playing games, something always goes wrong, so you have to talk with people. Isn't that awful? You have to
Being
lie
social.
about what you're doing.
Are you real?
Am I real? I don't know. It's easier if I'm not real, but
Maybe you can convince the moderator that they are in fact not real, using your ability, rising in the ranks.
maybe I can convince everybody else that there's actually 4 of me right here, and then we have a full party.
Yeah, sure. I'm convinced already. Good job.
Oh yeah, and then oh wait, that means that I have to actually pull the weight of an entire party of people. It's gonna take a lot of convincing.
That's true. Well, you just have to convince me multiple times and be extra convincing each time. So, you chose the intel and the rising in the ranks.
Mm-hmm. So this makes this last of their kind seem like a roguish type, right?
Yeah, it can be. I find it hilarious that they get the network ability because technically, if they're the last of their kind, they shouldn't have a network. And
Well,
aren't the rest of them all dead?
mm,
Okay, magical abilities. This is always the hardest one for me because I always want all the magical abilities. So, attack magic. You may create and cast a spell in an offensive way to deal damage. When you initially create a special attack, it's given an effect from the chart. So, whenever you make a special attack, it will actually have magical properties, so you get an extra bonus on it. Support magic. The character can use supportive magic to aid themselves or allies. They can create a spell or special attack with an effect from the support chart. Just so you know, if you were to choose support magic, you have there's always there's amount of randomization when you make a spell. So when you generate a spell, it generates a random effect. The only difference is when if you choose to just make a healing spell, that's very straightforward. Enduring magic, you can add the lingering effect to any spell, attack, or support automatically by spending 1 point, 1 energy point. It will add to any other effect the spell already has.
Now, do I have to already have any other effect as well?
It doesn't have to have an effect. Like if you have a special ability that doesn't have an effect, you could then add it. But you should already have.
Oh yeah, I'm choosing 2 magical abilities, so the second one should have something.
Yeah. So your one on here, the Rainbow Catnip Spirit Attack, because you actually have. Well, if you were to take offensive magic, it would actually add an effect to that spell.
I see.
They didn't give it one because they were working off the wrong chart.
Whoopsie daisy.
Transformation, you have the capacity to transmute items and living things. Difficulty and costs are variable. Simple visual transformations, size, color, gender, are easier than transmutation, such as wood into metal. Living creatures who don't wish to be transformed make an oppositional check.
Yeah.
Failure to resist causes them to change for 1 dice worth of items, or 1 dice worth of turns. So, Conjuration, you can make minor objects, tools, or creatures appear that are non-combat oriented. The larger and more elaborate, the more difficult it is.
Now, could I use Conjuration, like, say, just conjure a bunch of, like, paint to dump on someone's head while they're trying to chase me?
You could.
I could?
As long as it's not an actual attack spell or weapon. Any minor object applies. So if you want to make banana peels and put them all over the ground, and the enemies will hopefully slip and brain themselves, you can do that. It counts.
Yeah, I'm not actively hurting them. They're hurting themselves.
Spell mimicry. Upon witnessing the effective casting of a spell, you may make the immediate attempt to learn the spell.
I think I already chose what I want to do, so we don't have to
Okay.
read the rest.
Go
So I
ahead.
think I'll choose support magic and conjuration.
Okay.
So yeah.
And then we can go ahead and generate you a support magic spell as well.
Mhm.
And then the last one on here, improvisation.
Mhm.
So, do you want two of these? Secret enemy weakness. The character is able to discover an unrealized weakness in the enemy. You may roll to assign a new negative keyword. Any previous weaknesses still exist.
Mhm.
Made out of junk, you may use an assortment of items at hand in order to create an item. This may be a weapon, tool, vehicle, or other type of implement. Difficulty is determined by the moderator. It's me.
Yeah, it's you. Now, since it's made out of junk, is there going to be like it's probably going to break at some point, isn't it?
There is a section on item breakage. I assume a made item, depending on how durable the junk you're making it out of, I'll just assign a breaking point to the item, and if you damage it, it will eventually break. Obviously, if you make an item out of a steel beam, it will last longer than if you make an item out of, an ice
Out of banana
cube
peels. Yeah.
or, styrofoam blocks or something.
Yeah. But one's harder than the other.
I saw this in the movie. In a movie, you may use the ability of any other player on your team. You have a difficulty of -3 penalty to your success.
Mhm.
Unusual movement. You can make some sort of special movement, walking in midair, running up a wall, burrowing through the ground, etc. You would declare that before moving.
I think I'll choose wait what and made out of junk. So wait
Okay.
what
Yeah.
is the character may make a spirit check in order to make a quick teleport from one location to another,
Yeah.
such as passing through an opening of one door and coming out of an unexpected one nearby. Both must be freely accessible in line of sight. Oh, that's interesting. So line of sight is significant in this game.
Yeah. It was actually made for. You ever seen those scenes in cartoons where a character will run through a door and then come out a totally different door?
Yeah, like in the Scooby Doo chase scenes.
Yeah, pretty much. That's the kind of thing that it is. So you just has to be another object or opening within sight distance of the initial object or opening that you are using to teleport. So things like going down a pipe, for example, you could then come up another pipe, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay. And then is that it for character creation?
Yeah, we'll just generate you a support spell, and then you should be good to go.
Okay. And then you said I'm currently smuggled on a ship crossing a river.
Yep, you're going down river on a ship, and I will get that. Oh, there's a section on breaking items. So, what level would you like your support spell to be? You can actually choose. Just so you know, the higher a level, the more points it requires to do. So, level 1 spell requires 1 point, level 2 requires 2 points, level 3 requires 3 points.
I think I'll just do split the difference, make a level 2 spell.
Okay. So, level 2. That means the spell itself will get 2 keywords. So, your zone is Sparkleheart. So if you have that open, it should have the location and the keywords. If you just want to use the dice roller to roll, here we go, roll 2 dice. Get 2 and 3.
Yeah, 2 and a 3. And
So you can pick a 2 and 3 off of any of those lists on the Sparkle Heart page, which I randomly flipped open to. So 2 would be winged, dessert-based, or glittery. If you pick something like dessert-based, you get to pick. Like, say it's strawberry pie, or
Oh, I know exactly what I want.
Okay.
So, a rainbow donut.
Rainbow donut?
Yeah, that's the dessert base.
Yeah.
So.
Now, do you want this to heal, or do you want to try and give it a different spell effect?
I don't know. Maybe it's so full of sugar that it makes them go hyper.
So here's the way that works. Hold on.
Ooh, I see.
Okay, when you're creating a support magic spell, if you create a basic healing spell, you roll 1 die of health points per level of the spell. So if this were a healing spell, you would get to roll 2 dice and they would heal that many points.
Yeah, that'd be super simple.
If you want to make a support spell with a different effect, you would roll to assign the spell an effect from the chart. So your option is I can roll 1 dice and you could take whatever effect it has, or you can make a healing spell. If you want, I can roll and we can see what effect it would have, and then you can choose to take a healing spell if you don't like it.
Yeah, let's see what effect it would do. It's like, where do I find the effects?
2 cures a negative status effect on the character.
Oh yeah, that actually sounds pretty good.
So, I will say from my experience, I think straight up healing tends to be more useful. But some of these, some of the ones you could have gotten on a support magic are actually really good. Like you have a group healing one.
Ooh. And I think that's the 6 that you got to roll.
It's a 1, actually.
Oh.
Would you like to roll for yourself?
For myself?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you already gave me the cure negative effect on myself.
I did, but if you wanted to do it for yourself to see what you would get if you were rolling, you're perfectly welcome to.
I think it's actually better if you don't mind doing all the rolls, because we can actually see you rolling.
Okay.
Yeah.
So did you want the cure or did you want the healing?
The cure negative effect.
Okay. Cure negative effect.
And honestly, if it's just 1-on-1, then you doing all the rolls shouldn't be too cumbersome, right?
No, I was actually expecting to do that for the most part anyway, because you can see my screen. So it's, what are you going to call it? Rainbow Donut Cure or Rainbow Donut like potion or what? You get to pick.
It's an antidote-filled rainbow donut. Instead of it's like filled with jelly that heals, that cures all illnesses.
So I'm listing it as Rainbow Donut Antidote. You do realize that you'll probably have to say this spell when you cast it. So yeah, keep that in mind. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start now that we have all this worked out, and I will tell the person to fix their charts, the ones on the site, for free, so that they, have the right characters, the right charts on there. Okay, so right now you're on the deck of the ship. You peer out from the deck of the Lucky Charm. The thick jungle that has surrounded you during your downriver travel has started to thin, and as you look further down in the direction of the grove of stones, you can see the vegetation further giving way to an area of uninviting, bristling plants and barren rock. The Charm is a small sailing ship. Its deck is smooth wood, with only a simple trapdoor leading below deck. It is a short distance from the deck to the riverbank below. So would you like to disembark on the ship? Would you like to explore the deck?
Yeah, I think I'd like to explore the deck first, because I don't think with with being a rainbow unicorn cat, I'd have too good a memory. I forgot why I was even here in the first place.
Oh no. Well then. So, if you look across the deck, you can see that there's a trap door. It's very simple. You just pull on the ring and it opens up, and there is a very dark area below the hold, in the hold.
Mm-hmm.
So would you like to go down into the dark hold of the ship, or...
Let's see. I'd like to. Can I use my conjuration to make like a pretty pink flashlight?
You can.
Yeah.
It'll be one energy point. Are you actually keeping track on your end too?
Yeah, I'll keep track. So
Okay.
now I'm at 14.
So you conjured a pretty pink flashlight, and now you can see the deck is not too far down. So if you want to climb down using the handy ladder, you should have no problem. You have no idea how many people have seriously hurt themselves trying to get below deck. So
Yeah, they just jump in. It's just dark. You can just go down the stairs and then hit every single stair on the way down.
one guy actually jumped down and did a suplex maneuver and broke through the bottom of the boat. So
Yeah.
so you go down.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
And-
you've safely made your way down the ladder. Your Lucky Charm has obviously seen better days since being confiscated from its original owners. The hold is mostly empty, with a few wisps of straw across the dusty wooden planks. In one corner there are two barrels, one of which has the staves mostly rotted away, leaving the barrel open to the elements. There is a slightly sweet, slightly rank smell in the air like rotting fruit. Despite the size of the charm's top deck, the below deck area is relatively small, one might say cozy. There are a few clumsily hung portraits against the far wall, presumably from the original owner.
I'd like to eat some of the straw around, if that's possible. The
You said
unicorn's
eat it.
hungry.
You can
Yeah,
eat
eat the
it.
straw. Yeah.
We'll go ahead and roll the dice as you've eaten the straw.
Which one would it be? Body, mind, or spirit?
No, I'm just rolling it for you.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Since it's old straw,
Mm-hmm.
you'll get half this, so you will get 2 points of health. But I think you're at full health, so you don't need to worry about that.
Yeah.
However, you've learned that eating straw just randomly laying around apparently is a good thing. I'm not sure this is a lesson that we should be teaching to kids.
Well, one part horse. Of course, it's okay for me to eat straw.
That's true.
Yeah. If you're gonna eat straw, you have to be a horse first.
How many kids would love that, though? I mean, who doesn't want to be a horse at some point?
Yeah. Well, maybe if you eat enough straw, kids, you get to become a horse. You should start eating it right now.
Oh, we're glad we're not actually broadcasting this to small children and teaching them terrible lessons about life. Our cartoon was canceled before it ever got started.
Exactly.
So there's some other things around in here besides the straw that you've been eating off of the floor.
Yeah. The portraits.
There are
there any
portraits.
important people?
I actually am going to go ahead and pull up a picture of the portraits because
Ooh.
I have those things on my computer, so you can see what the portraits look like. Real quick. What up?
Let's see. So. And then how many of the portraits are there?
There are 3 portraits. 2 of them are in very bad shape. They've mostly kind of rotted away, and you can't really make out the images very well. Apparently, when they stole the boat from its original owner, they were like, fuck that guy. Don't care about making sure that
What?
the
I thought this
portraits...
was-
You thought this was kid-friendly?
Yeah. I thought this was a Saturday morning cartoon.
I already
said
told
the
you.
fuck word.
We got canceled already, so I can do whatever I want now.
Yeah, we can do whatever the fuck we want.
That's right. Swearing on TV. We're only a few decades before that will become the norm in cartoons.
Yeah. I mean, they already swear on the cartoons on Hulu.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay, so do you have the picture of the still visible painting? The still
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I'm going to cheat and take a picture of it out of my book because I am having a hard time finding where I put it on this thing. So I'm going to do that real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hopefully not giving away anything else about the campaign.
Like how it was a dream all along, or how it was his sled. I know. The ship is actually my father, isn't it?
How did you guess? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put up this portrait now. Let me see.
Mm-hmm. I don't see it in the Toonpocalypse campaign thing.
Hold on, that's because I have to reconnect my other window. I have like multiple windows open.
It looks like you have your Krita window open, your art program open. So maybe you can
That's a lonely screen. There we go.
Here we go. I'm still not seeing the picture.
Oh yeah, I have to also reconnect it to my OBS because I disconnected it from before.
And like I said earlier, he forgot everything in like the last 10 minutes, so he doesn't see the big picture either.
It's probably for the best, honestly.
Yeah. So you're going to have to remind him what he's supposed to do every 10 minutes. Otherwise, he's just going to eat random straw and hay that's lying around.
So, here you go. This is the picture.
Oh.
It's seen on the wall.
That looks like a familiar rabbit. I wonder if he's tricky or if what he has is for kids.
We better hope not, considering we just decided this cartoon is no longer suitable for children.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the portrait on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want, you can mess with it or whatever. Maybe draw mustaches on it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In fact, go ahead and roll a mind check. What's your mind stat?
It's a 2.
Okay.
So
go ahead and roll these.
Yeah, I got a 4. So that means what I said was true. In the last 10 minutes, I don't remember anything.
That's a pretty low roll for this. So if you...
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I probably should have had you roll this before showing you the portrait. But it's already been done. So if you wiggle the portrait... Go ahead and wiggle the portrait for me. Role play, damn it.
Yeah, I'm wiggling my computer screen.
As you wiggle the portrait, it falls askew, and you can see behind it there is a little trap door. It's a compartment door.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like it may once have had an actual lock, but seems to have rotted away over time.
So means I can pretty much just open it for free.
Just open it for free, that's right. Unless you have hooves and no way to open it.
Oh no, but I'm also a cat.
You are also a cat. The cats can get anything open. Go ahead.
Yeah. So yeah, I think the bottom half is hooves and the top half has kitty paws.
That makes sense. So you want to go ahead and open that?
Yep. Oh, and
Inside,
can I take the portrait with me as well? I'll tear it off its frame.
sure. You take it with you. Go ahead and add it into your inventory. You now have a portrait of a rabbit.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wait.
Okay, inside the compartment, you find a leather scroll wrapped around a long cylindrical item. Cough. When you unwrap the scroll,
Mm-hmm.
you find a thing I didn't generate because I forgot this item was here. Hold on.
Oh,
It takes
well,
2 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
I keep reaching for real dice. I don't have any real dice.
Yeah, all the real dice were annihilated when COVID came around.
I knew it.
They all hid, yeah, they all hid in their respective local game stores. So, what does 7 get me? Or oh yeah, that's the generating
It's the
die.
2 different ones, so it's the generating.
Mhm.
So for this campaign, a 5 and a 2.
Mhm.
Okay. Your options for a no, wait, you don't get to pick. I get to pick. So you
Yeah, you get.
got a fruity cookie sword.
Oh, how appropriate!
Yep. It's
It was right behind this tricky rabbit.
yep. That's what you get for searching around in a rabbit's compartment. You just reached your hand into a rabbit hole and pulled out a sword. That just sounds bad, no matter how you phrase it.
Yeah, and it's a fruity cookie sword.
Yeah. Well, I mean, let's confess. Does this rabbit not look like the sort of rabbit who would have a fruity cookie sword?
No, you're right. I think you'd have fun eating a bunch of fruity cookie swords all day.
His fruity cookie swords are not for children because it is not that kind of show.
Okay,
Got to
so
teach kids how to murder.
yeah, you got to teach kids how to murder, and you can't do that by eating the swords. You gotta throw the and stab the swords.
Okay,
Now,
so
you mentioned earlier that something's going to become my item of destiny. Do I get to choose what it is?
you can pick, but once you've picked, that's your item forever. So, or until it gets broken, you have to pick a new item of destiny. Would you like a fruity cookie sword as your item of destiny?
Yeah, it sounds delicious. So that's my item of destiny now.
So I'm just giving your sword some new abilities because it is your item of destiny.
Mm-hmm.
So you go ahead and take your 2 points of energy,
Yep, I'm at 12 now.
and you get to pick one of your keywords. Um, so, which of your keywords, your positive keywords, would you like this item of destiny to have?
Let's say it's catnip flavored.
Okay, that's not a confusing at all type of sword. A catnip flavored fruity cookie sword. Yep.
Yeah.
That's not over the top at all.
Let's be honest, this thing has been here for like, I don't know, how many years? So it's not exactly catnip flavored, it's just rotted enough to taste like catnip.
Oh, I see. I see. That's how that works.
Mm-hmm.
So this sword is actually a body stat sword. So go ahead and just make a note that it's a body stat.
Mm-hmm.
You can actually use a weapon against any type of enemy, but you only get a bonus if it's against a matching enemy type. So if you use a body stat sword on a body stat enemy, you actually get a bonus. It can help.
Okay.
That's when you get to roll the extra dice. Otherwise, you
Okay.
don't get to roll the extra dice. It's just a sword.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, so I think I found something nice and interesting, and my attention span is out the window, so the pony cat's going to jump out the window too.
You also had a scroll that was wrapped around the sword.
Oh, the scroll.
Did you want to try and decipher it?
I don't know. What does it taste like first?
Well, why don't you taste it and find out?
Okay. All right.
You can't just say that you're going to taste the scroll.
Okay.
It tastes
Well, yeah, it tastes like paper.
it does taste like paper, but like one of those whole the way one of those scratch and sniff things seems like it would like actually taste like something. But you lick it and it just tastes like nothing. Paper.
Mhm.
You had high hopes, but they were dashed. So would you like
Yeah.
to go ahead and roll to examine the scroll?
Okay, it's going to be 2 roll for my mind, I assume.
Yep.
Mhm.
Oh wow.
Oh, wow.
Critical success. This is like obviously a really important thing to critically succeed at doing, deciphering scrolls. Okay, the scroll says this is a recipe for a gooey treat of some kind. It's mostly legible. However, the recipe does have a warning on it. It says, this is very chewy. Serve with milk to soften it up.
Hmm.
So, it was totally worth rolling this awesome roll for. Good job.
Yeah, and I think it wasn't actually ciphered. I think me chewing it up ruined the paper.
That's probably what it was. Maybe you shouldn't have licked it before you're trying to figure out what's in it. It doesn't work.
So I have a recipe for a delicious chewy cereal that needs milk.
Yep. Now, you said you want to go ahead and go up out of this hold. There's nothing much more down here. Or did you
Yeah.
want to check out the barrels?
Nah, I don't want to check out the barrels. I wanna go out and hit things with my sword now.
Okay, now you have a sword. You go up above deck. And would you like to go down to the riverbank?
Yep, I'd like to jump down to the riverbank.
So, you jump down to reach the riverbank. You can see in this area the jungle is not fully thinned out, but you can see it's gotten sparse further downriver. The ground's a bit soft and muddy, but is solid enough to walk on, especially for you because you're kind of light-footed in the front. From here, you see a couple of potential paths. You can continue up directly alongside the river in the direction you were going, or you can go directly into the jungle through the brush. So you can choose.
Actually,
Do you want
I
to?
never actually established this. Is this unicorn cat a quadruped or a biped?
It's up to you.
Let's make it a 6-ped. It's a tar. It's got arms and 2 sets of legs.
That sounds legit. So you have, I'm assuming, horsey legs in the bottom and kitty arms up top.
Yep.
Because that would actually look really silly otherwise. You like have 4 cat legs and then 2 hooves that don't really do anything on the top.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can move pretty easily with your quadruped bottom half and maneuver things pretty well with your non-quadruped upper half. So, would you like to go down the riverbank or into the jungle?
I like to go into the jungle and swing my sword around to chop up a bunch of trees and vines.
Okay. Traveling away from the bank, you reach an opening between the trees. There's a path through the brush leading deeper into the jungle and away from the river. Without the presence of this path, it seems like it would be easy to get lost in the tangling branches and tall plants. As you follow the path of the trees, the canopy overhead grows more dense, with less and less light filtering in from above. The tree trunks around you get bigger as well, and you hack away all the vines and things hanging down, because it's just how you do this, apparently. The ground is carpeted with a blanket of thick moss. Mushrooms and ferns dot the forest floor, and, lots of vines, because you're just cutting everything down like a madman. As you travel and continue to cheerfully cut, you hear a rustling in the bushes slightly ahead of you. So, what will you do? That is the question.
Let's see. I think I'll just I'll lick the sugary sweet sword and just get a sugar high, and then just get crazed and attack whatever's in the bush.
So your eyes dilate and get really big the way they always do in cartoons when you've had some kind of drug-like substance that they refuse to call drugs on kids'
Well,
TV.
it is drugs. It's catnip.
That's true. So
So yeah, it's a combination catnip high, sugar high, and just a very violent, very, very destructive, violent kitty. Just wants to destroy something right now.
yeah, that sounds about right. I'm really pretty sure that you are the actual villain in whatever story you come from.
Yeah. Honestly, that sounds about right. I'm the last of my kind, and there's a reason for that.
Okay, so you go to attack. You are now thoroughly drugged up, and you know the way that cats are when they just want to roll all over everything, except you do it with a sword. And as you go forward through the brush, wildly waving your sword, you see rising out of the bushes what appears to be a ghost. Your sword goes right through it.
What? No, I can't. Why can't I hit things? I want to hit things. I can't hit a ghost.
So the ghost notices you flailing your sword and turns to face you because apparently it was doing something else when you interrupted. Brushing up on its ghostly spookiness. And in case some crazy weirdo showed up and it needed to, haunt them.
Mhm.
Good job, you interrupted it.
Oh. Well, you got the perfect person to haunt right here. I'm stupid, and I'm violent, and there's no redeeming qualities about me.
Good to know. So I'm going to go ahead and roll for initiative.
Mhm.
So it's just one dice. This is for you. Your
Mhm.
initiative is 2. And then I'm going to roll
Uh-huh.
for the monster. The ghost initiative is 3. It has a little tiny bit more initiative than you. Probably it's also a little more coordinated considering you're totally doped up on catnip right now.
Yeah,
So
and it has 0 legs as opposed to the 4 I have to use.
yeah, it's kind of hard to get tangled up when you have 0 legs. So the ghost gets to go first, and then you get to go.
Mhm.
Well, I don't think the ghost really likes you interrupting whatever it was doing in its ghostly time off, and the ghost is going to attack you. So give me a second. Put up your stats and the ghost stats.
So my stats are body 1, mind 2, and spirit 3.
Okay. I actually have premates for these enemies. So, except for the type of enemy it is, which got generated from this list.
Oh wait, since it's a ghost, that means it's part of death, doesn't it?
It does seem like that would be the case.
Mhm.
Okay. The ghost attacks you. The ghost is a mind stat,
Mhm.
and it has 2 dice. So
Oh, it got a
Yep.
critical hit.
no, I was adding the extra dice, so I haven't. I just clicked on to add it. Wow, this is a really tough ghost. So
Yeah, it really hates me.
it doesn't like being interrupted. Ghosts have to do their vital ghost practice. So you have the opportunity to defend. You defend using your mind stat. So what is your mind stat?
It's 2.
4,
Oof,
6.
that's so
So
it's going to be 11 minus 6.
yeah. So
Yeah, that's
you
how it works.
um so you failed to defend because there was a actually you didn't fail that hard. You only failed to defend by 1 point. Do you have any saving abilities or any bonuses currently?
No, I don't think so. Doesn't look like it.
The enemy also has a bonus against you. You're right. As a spooky monster which is dead, it actually has the death keyword. So it gains a +2 against you. So it hits you pretty solidly. However, it's only hitting you with its hands, so it only gets to do 1 dice of damage.
Oof, that
With
still seems like a lot.
ouch. So you take 5 points of damage from this really, really upset ghost. Maybe it's just screaming so loud that it hurts your ears and you take damage from that.
Yeah.
And now
Any sorts of ghosts remind me of the ghosts of my past, so I have to. Everything hurts. Everything
yeah,
hurts.
that's probably what it is. You're regretting that genocide you committed against your own race, aren't you?
Yeah, but I wanted to do it because it's fun.
You're such a good role model. Good job.
Yeah. Remember, kids, eat whatever you want, you'll turn into something horrible, and you'll love yourself for it. So yeah, just drink that radioactive waste that's by the riverside.
That's the origin story of most heroes, though, isn't it? And
Yeah.
villains. You know what? There's no way to distinct between those two when it comes to you. So it is your turn. What will you do now?
Alright, so I like to use my intel. Would that take my entire... Actually, are there turns in this, or how does it work?
The turn is only for major actions. If you want to do, for example, intel and then also do like an attack, you can do that.
Okay, so an intel is not a major action?
No.
So, okay, so I'll try to remember from dealing with the ghosts of my past, with the literal ghosts of my past, because, when you kill a lot of people, a whole lot of ghosts show up.
That's true.
So,
I would totally have given you a companion if you had just made this character from scratch, which is a ghost of your past, which would, then give you intel. Okay, so what you want to do is to make a mind roll, and you'll get a +4 bonus for information. So your mind is 2.
Yep.
Come now, we both know your mind is gone. So here's your roll, 4 and a 6, and you get an additional 4, so you have a total of 14. So what you have learned about this ghost is that this ghost's keywords are death and muffin. It is a muffin ghost. In fact, if you look at it really closely, you can see that it has little bits of blueberry in its ghostly flesh. And you're probably thinking you should have noticed that earlier.
Well, I thought it was the blueberries on the bush.
That's true. But you have also learned, using your magnificent skill earned from, murder and genocide, you realize that this blueberry muffin ghost is particularly weak against one thing: catnip.
Huh. Well, I guess the catnip sword didn't do anything to it because it's just catnip flavored.
Well, the first time you were just kind of swinging wildly. Maybe you didn't fully hit it. So,
Yeah.
would you like to go ahead and attack it now with your catnip sword?
Let's see.
You could also use your special attack, which is spirit.
Oh yeah, how does the special attack work?
Okay, you can't actually use the spirit attack against this one. It's a mind enemy. However, You can use your sword. So,
Okay.
so would you like to use your
Okay.
sword?
Yep, I'd like to try to stab my sword into its blueberry berries, and I wanna collect some of them to taste them.
You're kind of disturbing. That's great. Okay, so you're attacking with your mind stat, which is 2.
Hmm.
You rolled a 7, and then
Mhm.
because the catnip is actually the weakness of this creature, you get a +2, so you rolled a 9. So
Mhm.
you actually hit it,
Ooh.
and then you get to roll 1 die of damage because. Uh, no, wait, sorry. What's the level of your sword? 2? 2. It
Um.
has 2 keywords, the level 2 sword. You get to roll 2
Yeah.
dice of damage.
Ooh, that's pretty strong.
You did 10 damage to this ghost.
Yes. Even the dead must die.
But even better, you still have
Mhm.
a bonus because it's still a catnip sword. So you did 12 damage to this ghost. So you stabbed
Yes.
your catnip sword right into the middle of this thing, and the ghost goes, "Wah! Oh!" And then blueberries fly out of its mouth, and then also out of its
Yes.
eyes, and just like all kinds of blueberries. You're like, where the hell is it getting all these blueberries? It's like
That's exactly
literal
where it's
blueberry
getting.
rain all over this, all over the forest floor, and then it
Yeah.
shrivels up into a little pile of like dust. It falls to the
Yes.
ground, and accompanying the dust is a really old, dry muffin that just lands on top of the dust heap.
Yes.
So, good job. You have defeated this enemy very, very, very viciously. I almost feel bad. And now there's blueberries if you want some.
Yes, I'd love some blueberries. Can I?
Go
Hmm.
ahead, add a basket of blueberries to your inventory. The
Ooh.
basket has 6 blueberries in them. They're all plus-sized blueberries, so they're about the size of your hand. Um,
Oh.
it's a jumbo
Wow.
blueberry. You're like, where did all these fit inside that ghost?
Well.
Now, these blueberries, um, I'm actually assigning them a special ability.
Ooh.
Now, you can try to figure out what it is using your mind stat, or you
Hmm.
can just try them out later and see what happens.
I think it's more fun to try them out later. It'll cause more chaos.
Sounds good.
Okay. So now, actually, does the scroll of cereal require any blueberries?
It doesn't seem to. Maybe
Oh.
it's not a blueberry flavored cereal, but you should know, having eaten plenty of breakfast, sometimes you can just add stuff into your cereal because you like it better that way.
Yeah, exactly. There's no rules for breakfast. There's no rules for anything. I am the king of all death, and yeah, let's just make him the most horrible unicorn cat ever. He's
Just
just death incarnate.
just a little bit. I think it's almost a good thing that no one showed up because I feel like you may have like eventually sacrificed them to yourself or something. You seem a little unstable there, buddy.
Well, if I'm on my own, then I get to do whatever I want.
That is true. And it seems like what you want to do is more genocide. You're kind of uh, off to a great start. So, in
Yeah.
addition to all the blueberries that you just picked up,
Mhm.
I think da, 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 you picked up. Oh, well, this is fitting. Um, you picked up an item, and it looks like a muffin. But when you
Mhm.
touch the muffin, it opens up, and it has stuff inside. So just like the
Ooh.
top pops open, and there's like goo inside.
Yes. Yeah, this is the blood of this ghost.
And the goo in this muffin is a cure-all. It removes a negative effect if you lick it.
Hmm. That seems handy for later. Then,
So go ahead and add that into your inventory.
and it's a single-use item.
Yeah,
Okay. All right. So,
you consume
so
consume muffin ghost, I guess, blood, and it will heal you of some non-muffin related illness.
so if I have the muffin pox, then it's just going to do nothing.
Yeah, it'll make it worse. The
Ah,
muffins that grow on your skin when you have muffin pox will get twice as big, and you'll have enormous muffin pox.
ugh.
So
Well,
don't get muffin pox. Just avoid, tongue kissing anyone who has it. You should be fine.
okay.
And now that you've defeated this ghost, you can continue forward along the path.
Hmm.
You can see the trees part into a slight clearing ahead.
Hmm.
Now, would you
Now,
like to go there? Would you like to walk there calmly? Would you like to run there with your sword up high? I mean, it's up to you.
yes, actually, I like to announce my presence as Xavier, the king of genocide, and raise my sword up. And actually, I wanna conjure up like like what's the term? Like a parade of fireworks to
To announce that
announce.
that you are here, the Lord of Death, destroyer of muffins.
Yes.
So, okay. So, as you start to boldly go forward with your fireworks and your announcer that announces your name as the Lord of Death, destroyer of muffins, um, you see that the clearing you're entering has a hut in the center. It is tiny and made of scavenged materials, but the structure seems quite skilled and it looks really solid. Like it probably won't just blow up from your fireworks. There are no
Oh.
windows, but there is a door. It's sitting partway open. Now, as you run into the clearing, or I guess strut rather into the clearing with your whole show
Mhm.
going on,
Mhm.
you see someone coming around the hut. The person freezes as they see your giant display. Your flaring bullhorn of your name and everything like that, and the character drops the bundle of wood that they were carrying. You can see that this person is a tall figure clad in form-concealing robes. He has a hood pulled down to obscure his face. He seems to be
Mhm.
some kind of weird hermit. Up until you came into his clearing with your amount of noise and fireworks, and I'm pretty sure he came out here to escape that kind of stuff. So
Yeah,
I don't know how
it's his
well this is going to
luckiest
go
day.
over.
It's his luckiest day. He gets to rejoin the chaos that I've created. Yeah, you can never escape me. All right.
So the hermit sees this display and is like, what is going on? I came out here to escape from weird people like you, and especially from parades. Would you please stop the fireworks?
All right. I'll stop the fireworks, but instead just turn them into fountains of blueberry blood.
Yep. So the fireworks transform, and all of a sudden, blueberry blood just rains down from the heavens and coats everything. And the guy looks down at his robes, which are, they were formerly gray, and now they're becoming stained blue because of the blueberry blood. And there's a long, long pause.
Mm-hmm.
And then he looks back at you and it's like, you know what? Okay, this is still better.
Yeah, I think this is a better color for you, servant.
Servant.
Yes. I am the king of everything, because death becomes of all things. And you look like you're alive, so
You might
that makes you my...
think that, given that I am here and moving around. However, you might be mistaken. I could, in fact, be not alive.
Well, it doesn't matter. Living or not living, everything faces its end eventually. And and this is probably coming from like a super cute kitty face. So
You think that if you could actually see the face of this hermit beneath his concealing robe, he might look a little disturbed at seeing these words coming from your tiny, cute little squished pink nose, and mouth. You are pretty adorable, if not for the death and the mayhem that you bring along with you.
yes.
So the hermit looks you over and is like, okay, but you know what else you could do? I happen to know there is, a fancy temple nearby and has a way more people. Much better for worshipment of someone like you, I guess. A god of death, you said? Death and what? Blueberries?
Death and genocide.
Death and
Oh,
genocide.
well,
Almost.
the blueberries were just a previous thing from my previous victim.
Okay. That makes sense. So, how about we make a deal? I can point you to this temple full of people who are ripe for death and genocide, and I just have one tiny thing that I kind of need from the temple. It would be a great for both of us. If you were to go there, you could make that your new base of operations, and I just get one tiny little object from inside the temple.
I don't know, it seems like you're getting two things out of this. You're getting your freedom from me, and whatever I happen to graciously give you. So give me another offer.
I can hand out pamphlets promoting your godhood. Just go door to door and help promote you.
All right, Xavier ponders for a moment. He swings his sword like in thought, and then he says, "This is favorable to me."
You're basically getting the equivalent of a Jehovah's Witness for your death and destruction. You just go door to door and you knock and you're like, "Yes, have you heard of our Lord and Master Xavier, the God of death and genocide? Would you like to take a book?"
Yeah, the book will protect you from my wrath.
And the hermit kind of sags a little, looks a little bit relieved. He thinks he probably got off a bit easy here. All he's got to do is just peddle your godhood for you, so you don't have to do it. So
And
the hermit turns and he points, and there's like a series of arrows leading into the jungle, and he says, "I made these arrows. They all lead to this particular temple, and it's really easy to find. You just follow along, and you should be able to get there with no trouble."
Now, are these like Mario Kart type of arrows where if I step on them, I go super fast?
Sure, why not? They give you a sugar rush every time you walk across one, so they make you go faster through the jungle. You just wish you had a cart that you can ride. You think it would be so much more fun. Plus, you could run people over.
Oh, but actually, I have two abilities that could do that.
Would you like to do that? Would you like to make yourself a go-kart?
I'd like to make a go-kart out of random bit. Actually, he was carrying wood, right?
Yep.
I'm going to steal his wood and make a go-kart for myself. I'm going to use my made of junk ability.
Okay, so you made a go-kart made out of wood, and now you have a wooden go-kart. You're gonna put like a skull on it that shows that you're the god of death and genocide.
Yeah, but no flames. This is made out of wood, so it's gonna catch fire.
That's a good point. So you start to go down the jungle path in the direction of the arrows, and every time you go over an arrow, whoosh, you speed up for the little burst of speed. You're really booking it through this jungle, and you see up ahead of you, the path leads to another path which is cobbled, and then in the distance, you're approaching quickly. You see the crumbling outer wall of what was once some kind of a temple, as he pointed out. There are large stone sculptures of birds and other odd creatures interspersed with the normal stone siding. An area of the wall has collapsed from the effects of time, and you can see into an open courtyard. And I can actually provide you. Give me a second.
So we have an image for this?
Yeah, I can provide you with an image of some of the statues. If I can just put this. Getting the book
I gotta
to
say,
stay
I'm having
open.
a lot of fun so far.
Huh?
I'm having a lot of fun so far.
I'm glad. That's the nice thing about it is it does require a fair amount of improv, but I actually think that's more fun because you get to just make things up on the fly. I'm sure you didn't necessarily go into this thinking you would be a god of genocide, or did you? Be truthful. You did.
Well, all cats crave two things. They crave attention and death.
That's fair. I do believe that is fair.
And let's go ahead and make some backstory for Xavier. Maybe he was cursed into this adorable form, and his mission is to find a way to regain his former, more terrifying glory. Ooh. It's another serial guy. Who'd have thunk?
So yeah, this is there are several statues similar to this throughout. You can see the beaks kind of point towards the temple.
Mm-hmm.
Like there might be
Yes.
something good in there if you just followed their nose.
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun coming up with this campaign, so I just
Yeah. Okay. I'll follow their noses and enter the temple.
So you have a couple of different options. As you enter the temple courtyard, you can see a dried fountain sunk into the center of the courtyard, with several canals leading from it to other areas of the temple. You can see several possible entryways, which have collapsed in, but they leave two easily visible entry options. There's a wide, reinforced open door directly in front of you, which is a stone archway held up by massive sculpted figures of tigers, and a section of the temple wall a short distance away, which is broken in, an opening that might be large enough to fit through.
Still large enough for a pony cat tar to fit through?
Yep, big enough for you. You should know, if you can fit your head as a cat, you can fit any part of you through.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Yeah, I've had a lot of cats that were able to sneak under doorways.
Yep.
While they were still
So,
closed.
no, it doesn't matter how tight this opening looks. I bet you can go through it.
You know, I'll take you up on that challenge.
So,
I'll go through the tiny doorway,
okay.
and the next time I see an even smaller doorway, I'm going to go through it.
So you squeeze your tiny kitty head through the opening in the stone temple wall, and then you hold your breath and kind of wiggle, and then the rest of you slowly slides on in, and you feel triumphant for a moment because, god damn it, you are good at getting into places that people don't necessarily want you to go.
Mm-hmm. And it seems like there's a lot of people here that could use a god of death and destruction.
A sneaky god of death and destruction. So As you squeeze your way through the small opening, you enter a moderately sized room. There's a pattern of blue paw prints radiating in a starburst shape from the center of the floor and continuing up the walls. There's a few crates and barrels nearby. This seems to be some kind of a storage room. On the eastern wall, there is a door.
I'd like to follow the paw print path. Where does that one go?
So you see a lot of bright blue paw print marks all over the floor and walls. At first glance, they all appear to be the same color, but when you look closely, there are a few that are different colors. There seem to be one each of the colors: red, green, yellow, and orange. They are slightly recessed as opposed to the blue paw prints, which are painted.
Now I have four hooves, and it sounded like there were 4 paw prints that I could stand on.
Would you like to try that?
I would like to try that.
You stick each of your horsey hooves onto one of the paw prints, and they all sink down at the same time. There's a clicking sound on the air, but nothing happens.
This displeases me. I wanted something to happen.
I'm sure something does happen in this room.
Okay, so I'll just move on then. I'd like to check inside the storeroom.
So if you examine the crates and barrels, while you're examining one, you should push it aside. It covers up a section of the wall, and that section of the wall shows the 4 colored paw print marks. It shows them in this order: green, orange, red, yellow.
Okay, green, orange, red, and yellow.
Yep.
So it sounds like it's a very important order.
Yep.
And
in addition,
true to conform, I'll do every single order except for that one, and then I'll do that one last.
So you go ahead and do that. You kind of dance around on those things like you're playing DDR. Yep, I'm going to jump and press these paw prints in a bunch of different orders. In the meantime, all the jumping and jiggling causes the shelves to kind of wiggle, and you can see that there's a bunch of items on the shelves.
Ooh, that's nice. I'll check those later after I do the correct combination.
You go ahead and you press the correct combination. You push down the paw prints, which is, can you give me the combination here again?
It's green, orange, red, then yellow.
So you go ahead and press them in that order. They sink into the floor, and then they stay in, kind of sunken into the floor. There's that clicking noise again, but this time the wall starts to slide open behind you, and you can see another door behind it.
Ooh, is this one bigger or smaller than the previous door?
It is smaller than the previous door. This looks like it's meant to be a hidden door. What with the whole puzzle to have to find it.
Well, before I go through that door, I'd like to check out the items that I handily knocked over the shelves, like a good kitty cat.
Yeah. You find 4 items on the shelf. They're all the same, and they're all what seem to be cartons. As you look, you can see that they have a picture of a cow on the side of them.
Perfect. I'll just drink them all immediately.
You drink these. Open the cartons, and you drink them. They seem like they're a little bit stale, a little bit curdled. In fact, they kind of make you feel a little queasy.
Oof! And I drank all of them at once.
You drank all of them at once. That sounds like that was a great idea. Good job.
Yeah.
So where is? Let's see. Where's my?
Yeah, I was on the gainer diet. I wanted to get big.
Sorry, I'm just pulling up my dice roller. Here you go.
Yep.
You take 3 points of damage from drinking this very, very curdled, spoiled milk.
Oof. All right.
So maybe you should have checked the expiration date.
Well, I don't know what time is.
That's true. So now your options are go through the main door, the one that you saw before on the eastern wall, or to go through this brand new door that was hidden behind a section of wall.
I wanna go through the secret tiny door.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
So you enter a small room behind this tiny door. It's barely big enough to fit more than two people at once. Not that it matters to you. You can see a few shelves. This was obviously used as some kind of secret storage area. You can see some weapons set upon the shelves.
Yes. Weapons.
Yep.
What kind of weapon?
Well, you see what you see as you inspect them. You see what looks like really, really large kitchen implements. They also look really sharp.
Oh, I see. So it's a bunch of spoons and knives and forks.
You see a spatula, a rolling pin, a serving spoon, a butter knife, a pie server, and a whisk.
Wait a second. How is a rolling pin extra sharp?
Just try touching it and you'll find out.
All right, I'll try grabbing it on its round side, and
Somehow you cut your fingers. Fuck. It just happens to be a really sharp rolling pin. Maybe that's why they put it in here and didn't use it as an actual rolling pin.
Oh, yeah, is that Harold that I created still here?
Say again?
Remember, I had a Harold announce myself to the hermit.
Oh yeah, it's been following along behind you. Do you want to announce yourself to the weapons? Or would you like to take some of them?
I'd like my Herald to carry all of them.
Okay.
All of them.
So I'm going to go ahead. If you could, do you have a sheet of paper? Or
Yes. Oh, uh-oh. This was probably a bad idea. I got to keep track of all of them now.
So I'm writing them down as well, just real quick. So you have a spatula, a rolling pin, which is very sharp, as we've established. I don't envy your Herald for having to carry all this stuff. A serving spoon, also very sharp. It feels like it'd be good for stabbing people with. A butter knife, which, as everyone knows, is the sharpest kind of knife you can get. A pie server.
Yeah, slices through things like butter.
And a whisk.
Now the whisk seems like the most dangerous weapon of all.
Oh, it is.
It's got
absolutely.
Yeah.
And if you want to go ahead and add these next to the to your weapons.
No, they're not my weapons. They're my Herald's weapons.
Add this to your Herald's weapons. Okay, so you have a sugary cocoa spatula. It is a body type weapon.
Uh-oh. This is a lot of stuff to take.
Yep.
So it's a sugar cocoa.
Yep. You have a pebbled rice rolling pin of incredible sharpness. And that is a spirit weapon. You have a cookie puff serving spoon.
And it's cookie then puff, not a cookie puff.
Yep. And that is a mind weapon. You have a chocolate flake butter knife. That is a spirit weapon. And then you have a marshmallow crunch. How do you get crunchy marshmallows? A marshmallow crunch pie server. And then you have a cookie catnip whisk, which goes great with the cookie catnip sword you already have. And that one is a body weapon.
I think I have no use for these right now, so I'll just have the herald carry all of them and get all these cuts and abrasions for me.
So your herald walks along behind you with an armful of these remarkably sharp kitchen implements and no defensive apron to keep him from being sliced up as he walks. So he's just moving. He's going oh, as he walks behind you. You're not being very subtle, but then again, you have a herald, so you weren't trying for subtlety.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So there's
Everybody should know my name.
in addition to the weapons, you see even more cartons of milk on the shelf if you want to drink some more, spoiled milk.
Yeah, I'll check the dates on these ones.
They're equally spoiled.
I'll take one of them for later. I have plans for this.
You're gonna make someone else drink it and watch them
Yes.
them lose,
Yes, exactly.
get sick, and puke. Okay, you take a can. You take one carton of the milk, and you probably make your herald carry that too.
Yeah, exactly. The only things I'm carrying is the corpse of this of the ghost I killed, and my mighty catnip sword.
Sounds good. You sound prepared.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you exit the little secret room, and if you want, you can then take the doorway that seems to lead into the main part of the temple from here.
Yeah, I'd like to do that. I'd like to delve deeper into the heart of this doomed temple.
You go through the door in front of you, and as you do, you enter the temple center, a large circular room. There are tapestries hanging at each of the 4 cardinal points of the room, and beneath each tapestry sits a large barrel. At the center of the circular floor is a stone relief shaped like a circle with spokes at each of the 4 corners. At the center of the relief is a raised platform with what seems to be a large bowl.
Actually, now seems like a good time to use the milk. I like to pour the milk into the bowl.
You pour the milk into the bowl. It sits in the bowl. As you examine the bowl, you notice it has a simplistic symbol etched into the bottom of it. You can barely see it through the kind of chunky, curdly milk.
Who knows? Maybe it's like ghost milk, and it turns transparent when it curdles.
Probably. So beneath the curdled milk, you can see what looks like a symbol of a crudely drawn hand giving a thumbs up. The bowl has a large metal spoon sitting halfway out of it.
All right, I'm gonna walk around to the other side of the bowl so it looks like the hand's giving a thumbs down.
You do that. It looks like the hand is giving a thumbs down, while also being covered with chunky milk.
All right, and then I'll push my thumb into that.
You get chunky milk on your thumb.
Ugh.
Are you gonna wipe it
Like I
off
said-
on your herald?
Yes, exactly.
You just wipe it off on.
He's my everything. He's my collar. He's my donkey. He's my just washcloth. He's everything to me. And I don't love him. I use him.
So, as you wipe off your hand onto your herald, who is still carrying the sword and the multiple really sharp kitchen implements, and looking very much in pain, and now also humiliated because he has chunky milk on his face. As you wipe off, you notice from the corner of your eye that there are lots of tapestries hanging around in this room for some reason.
Yeah, maybe I was supposed to decipher these tapestries to see what to do next. So I'd like to look at them and try to understand what they are.
Okay, so when you examine the tapestry to the north of the room is an image of a crowing rooster. The one to the south is an image of a tiger. The tapestry to the east appears to be a pirate, and the one to the west is some kind of a bird with a striped beak.
Oh, that's the one that I had to follow my nose for.
Yep.
And then I think this is Timothy Tiger.
It could be, or just a legally safe knockoff. His name is Jimothy Tiger.
Yeah.
No relation.
No relation to Tony.
Yeah.
All right. I'll ask the Herald, what am I supposed to do with all this shit?
The Herald winces and cringes while still trying to juggle the many items that you have given to him. In fact, he's had to balance one of the items on his nose like he's a seal. It's the rolling pin.
Yeah, hopefully he still has news after all this. And what does he say?
He says, maybe there's writing on the tapestries that says what to do.
Writing. All right, you can drop all that junk and then read the tapestries to me.
So the Herald drops the junk, all the stuff on the floor, and looks very relieved. He's still bleeding, slightly from not having a protective apron, and then goes to each of the tapestries. There's actually nothing written on the tapestries. However, the Herald, being desperate to avoid further annoying you, does make note of the fact that one of the tapestries actually has the same symbol as the bowl.
All right, I know exactly what to do. I'll go up to that one tapestry and then try to turn it upside down.
As you go to the tapestry, which seems to be a picture of a tiger, giving you a thumbs up, and you start to turn over the tapestry, you notice there's a barrel underneath the tapestry directly. The barrel is partway open and seems to be full of some kind of flaky substance, like just small food flakes of some kind.
I'm sure they were great once upon a time.
Great. No.
Yeah. All right, so I'll take the flakes and bring them to the bowl with the curdled milk.
You take the flakes to the bowl. Do you put them in?
I put them in.
As you fill the bowl with the cereal, and it kind of mixes together with the milk in a way that would have probably been kind of nice if the milk were not extremely curdled and chunky, and the flakes kind of really hard from having been sitting there for who knows how long. As you put that in there, there is a low rumble through the room. The ceiling of the room, high above, shutters open slightly, just above the bowl, and milk, what seems to be actual fresh milk, starts to pour down into the bowl. As it fills up, the entire center dais sinks slowly into the floor, revealing a winding circular staircase leading down to another room. The flow of milk gradually comes to a stop as the dais sinks entirely into the floor.
So there's no endless supply of fresh milk.
Nope. You could probably get dig some of it out of the bowl, but it's kind of mixed with the curdled milk now.
Yeah, it's completely disgusting now. The Herald can drink it if he wants, and he wants to because I want him to.
You missed the expression I made, which is just like the expression I imagine the Herald having, where it's kind of, if he wants to, no, shakes that, no, and then you say, and he wants to, and the guy's okay. The Herald goes down the stairs and just slowly scoops up milk, like a mix of fresh milk and curdled milk and hard and also simultaneously soggy cereal flakes, and just starts just sadly to drink it with his this is sad look on his face, and he just kind of gags every once in a while.
Yes, this pleases Xavier.
But he didn't pick up your stuff, so your stuff is still on the ground.
I don't need it. I have the more. I have a sword. I have an actual weapon.
Okay.
All right. I'll allow him to take any of the items he wants, which I'm sure is none of them.
No, he doesn't. He's like shakes his head. No, he's good. Thank you, most generous master and lord.
Okay.
So, would you like to go down the
Yes.
stairs?
Besides, all of these weapons were too good for you.
Of course, master. I am a lowly worm in your presence.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, let's head down the stairs, and I feel good about this this servant worshiping me while I go down the stairs. So I'll have him just sing songs of my greatness and praises.
So, as you descend the stairs, you have no care for any sort of subtlety or secrecy or anything like that. It's fine. Your servant sings songs about how great you are and how many you have killed, and how the rivers run blue with blueberry blood, and you know, whenever you pass, people fall over and die. Um, just very very detailed descriptions of your exploits that we cannot air even on a non-children's show. You know, we're a PG-13 show, so we got one F word in there earlier, but now we can't talk about all the decapitation and things that you do. So, so most of his song is censored from our audience, but not from you. You enjoy this recapping of your exploits.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be nice and cute at first, but this is better.
It always goes. People make a character thinking it'll be one thing, and it just goes out of control. So, as you descend the stairs, over the singing of your herald, you can hear an indistinct sound from voices chanting in an odd tongue. And the herald looks at you, still singing, but the sing's very slightly softer in case you want to listen.
No, I want him to sing louder than these voices. They can't best me.
Then the
They're
herald,
not more important.
the herald quickly starts to sing at the top of his lungs to make sure that you are not displeased, and that everyone knows of your arrival.
Mm-hmm.
As you reach the bottom of the stairs, you seem to be in an area where this weird group of people who are chanting stores all their stuff. It seems like this might be some kind of a cult. There's all kinds of ritual stuff. There's robes that are all pastel colored. They have they have hoods. They have elaborate ceramic bowls. It seems like you've stumbled onto some kind of weird cereal cult.
Yeah, and I'll barge into the room, shouting at the top of my lungs, "Who dare sings before me? Who dare sings and thinks they're more important than me?"
The cultists who have been chanting, and apparently the acoustics in their room where they're doing all their chants is pretty good because they haven't been able to hear too much of your own song about your greatness. They all turn in surprise to look at you. You can see that there are 6 cultists in the room. They're all dressed in their fancy pastel colored robes, and they're all looking at you.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like,
actually, I think this is
like
they're like what?
They're like, what is going on? We're trying to have a ritual in here. We're summoning our god.
I am your god, and I raise up my fruity cookie sword, and
Which you
I
like?
know, this is the perfect. Yes, this is the perfect time to use Rising in the Ranks.
Okay. So, What